Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. MMT is the agency that sponsors this Facebook group, and we also have several others that are focused on different destinations. We are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is we have been recognized by Disney as being experts in their vacation product and providing an exceptional level of customer service for our clients. So, welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our groups every week. And we are so excited to be in this group tonight to talk to you about deluxe resorts at Walt Disney World. So, if you have ever considered, planning that dream vacation with the conveniently located, awesome amenities resort, this is definitely the place for you to be tonight. Happy Valentine's Day, obviously. We love the fact that you're here with us tonight. And so we are excited to share a lot of information with you, but also to take your questions. So we are going to reserve some time at the end of the live stream to take your questions. If at any point you have a question, go ahead and drop that into the comments at any time. We are using a program called StreamYard tonight to go live, and it may ask you to approve it to show your profile picture and your username. Just know you don't have to do that. You can actually deny that permission and post your question anonymously, and we will still be able to see it and interact with you. So I'm joined tonight by three awesome Marvelous Mouse Travels agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you would take just a second to tell us your name, how long you have been with the agency, and what the best way is for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a vacation.
Sure. Hi, my name is Allison DePisa. I've been with Marvelous Mouse Travels for about a year and a half, but I have been planning Disney trips for over 30 years. And the best way to contact me is written right there on my Facebook page at Allison MMT. I'm happy to get back to you quickly with answers to questions or quotes, whatever you need.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mary Alice. I have been with the agency since October of 2019. The best way you can reach me is also on Facebook, facebook.com/Mary Alice MMT.
Hey, everybody. I'm Amy Grunt. I've been with the agency for a little over 3.5 years. The best way to get in touch with me is either my email address that's on the screen, or you can reach me at Facebook, Amy Grunt, MMT. And that's it.
And again, I'm Ginger. I have been with the agency just over 2.5 years, and you can reach me at my Linktree page, which is gingermmt.com. That will have links to all of my different social media accounts, but my primary social media presence is actually my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/gingermmt. So, ladies, I'm going to start with a very general question tonight. There's obviously no scarcity of choice for hotels that are located near Walt Disney World. And so I've seen a lot of, comments or posts in different groups that I'm a part of, people saying that, without Fast Pass going on right now, there's really no perks, no reason to stay on site. And obviously as travel professionals who do this all the time, we know that that's not true, but the average consumer just might not be aware of some of the perks that there are to staying on site at Disney. So what do you see are some of the greatest advantages to staying on site?
Well, I'm actually fresh off the airplane yesterday from staying on site at Disney. I had a fabulous stay at actually the Fort Wilderness Cabins. And I think probably the biggest perk is just being, I think it's location, 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 to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're traveling with your family, if you have young kids, it's so nice to be able to be on property and be able to take a break midday, quickly hop on a bus, go back to your resort for a swim or a nap. So I personally think the location is probably the best reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with Allison. It's something about being in that Disney bubble. It is very convenient. If you do have little kids, it is just a quick, typically short ride back to your resort, so that they can rest or take that midday nap. Also, that works out really well for those mid-summer days when it's extremely hot and humid and everybody just needs a break.
Definitely.
But there are also some other great perks to staying on property. For example, the Magical Express, if you're flying into Orlando to MCO, that is free transportation to and from your resort. Magic bands you can get at a discounted rate, and you can get some really cute ones too for a discounted rate. And just things like that are still great incentives. To stay on property. And also, I think when you stay off property, you forget sometimes about that they might be a little bit cheaper, but sometimes there are going to be some hidden things that you don't necessarily think about, such as resort fees, parking for that resort, and then you have to pay to park once you park at a Disney theme park. So those things can add up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would also add into the perks of being on site just the fact that you do have the option to set up resort-wide charging privileges. So if you don't want to have to bring your purse or your wallet into the parks with you, particularly if you have a Magic Band, everything you need is on your wrist. That's your room key. That is the way that you're going to pay for things in the parks. And it's just so much more convenient than having to bring a bag in with you or whatever the case may be. And also, if and when, obviously we hope sooner rather than later, Disney dining plans do come back, then you only have the option to add that dining plan if you're staying on site. So if you're booked off site, you don't have the option to add that if it does come back. But I agree with everything you ladies said. I think the convenience factor, probably for me, enough. My kids are 8 and 5. We need that mid-afternoon break.
Definitely.
And having the ability to get back and forth really easily is why I do it. Why I pay the money just to stay on site too. So Disney has 3 broad resort categories. As we know, they have value resorts, they have moderate resorts, they have deluxe resorts. And we're obviously here tonight to give an overview of those deluxe properties. So in your opinion, what are the advantages of staying at the deluxe level as opposed to those less expensive, admittedly, value or moderate properties?
I was going to go back to location again. I think it's just fantastic to be able to hop on the monorail and be over at Magic Kingdom within a matter of minutes, or be staying at one of the Epcot properties and be able to either walk to Epcot, take a boat to the Magic Kingdom. I love those friendship boats. I love the captains of the boats. They're always the nicest people. And I think it just really adds to the vacation. But I'm all about the location and the proximity. And for me, my family actually will split our stay and do a few days at a Magic Kingdom resort and then focus on Magic Kingdom and Epcot. And then we'll stay over by Epcot. I always do an extra day at Epcot. So I'll do Epcot and then Hollywood Studios, maybe staying over at Yacht Club. So for me, I just want it to be convenient. I'm traveling with a 3.5-year-old, and that's a whole another topic.
Yep. That's a great topic for a video, doing it with little kids. Like, how do we do Disney with little kids?
Right.
Yeah.
I like the proximity too. A lot of the deluxe resorts, you can actually walk to the parks as well. With the Epcot resorts, you can walk to Epcot in addition to taking the boat or the buses and such. But even Magic Kingdom Contemporary, you can walk over. Grand Floridian, you can walk over. And it's just the convenience of having the multiple options of transportation. Pools are amazing at the deluxe resorts. It's just great amenities all together.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely location and proximity. That's what you're primarily paying for with the deluxe resorts. You're paying for that location, which I think is totally worth it because time is money and you don't want to spend a lot of time getting back and forth places. Also, the amenities at the deluxe resorts are nicer. I mean, those tiers are there for a reason. So you're going to have nicer towels, nicer sheets, nicer things like that. And even Amy was mentioning the pools, but even the what do they call it? The movie Under the Stars. They have those at every resort. But what you don't know is that the deluxe resorts, they kind of kick it up a notch. They have popcorn out there for you in your individual bags and things like that. And they also have a lot of the deluxe resorts have community halls, which aren't available at the other resorts. So that's just a great place for your kids to go if you have a non-park day, to have some entertainment and some activities going on in there.
And we
Absolutely.
can't forget the restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There are some fantastic restaurants at the Deluxe Resort, whether it's Ohana at Polynesian, Narcoossee's at the
Mhm.
Grand Floridian, or of course California Grill
Mhm.
at the Contemporary. I mean, you just have some fantastic restaurants right there on site as well.
Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of my favorite restaurants at Disney World are at the resorts. Like my absolute favorite restaurant to eat at is Grand Floridian Cafe. We eat
Oh,
there
I love
every
it
time
too.
we go. And also too, like sometimes, obviously right now, things are a little bit different, but many times there are even character meals that
Mhm.
are available at those deluxe resorts. And so, like Topolino's, for instance, at the top of the Riviera,
Mm.
how nice is it to be able to just go up to the top floor of your
Mhm.
resort, have a character breakfast, and then you're off to the parks. So, again, convenience, ease, is always what makes a good vacation, in my opinion, for
Agreed.
sure.
Absolutely.
So we've mentioned a couple of those Epcot area resorts. So let's kind of focus in there. And the Epcot area resort, I don't know about you ladies, but this is actually my favorite part to stay in, my favorite resort area to stay in, because you have Yacht Club, you have Beach Club, you have the Boardwalk, which you're looking at here. And then also the Riviera Resort is one of the Epcot area resorts. So how would you describe the theming of these properties? And what do you think are the greatest advantages to staying in this resort area?
I think the resorts around Epcot have maybe the best theming of all on property. I
Mhm.
absolutely love the boardwalk, strolling up and down with the lights, and you really feel like you're in Atlantic City and,
Mhm.
back maybe many years ago. And you've got the performers, you've got abracadabra, you can get ice. I mean, there's just the bakery, there's just so much there. And then, Yacht and Beach Club, just a stroll or a quick boat ride away. I mean, I'm a New Englander, so I get that Cape Cod feeling when I go there. The lobby, just the way it smells,
Yes.
how you've got kind of the beachy colors on the beach club side, but like the leather and the books and all that good stuff happening on the yacht club side. I think it's just immersive, from the decor to the smells to the restaurants. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. I actually have the Yacht and Beach Club lobby scent in a candle. That's my mom gave me for Christmas. It
I
smells
need that.
so good in there. Like, I don't know what that scent is, but it smells so good.
It does
Yeah,
smell
it
really
is
good in there.
nice. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yacht and Beach Club have one of the, I think personally, the best pools on property, with Stormalong Bay, with the sand bottom, and the slide is amazing. Everything about it is one of the best pools there.
I totally agree.
Of that pirate ship, you got to get up to the top and take the slide down for sure.
Absolutely. And also too,
Also,
go ahead, Mary Alice.
sorry, I think I got a little lag there. Also, when you're staying in those Epcot areas, Allison mentioned that it's just a short stroll or walk away. So you really have a lot of the amenities of all of those hotels right there around the lake, because they're so close. I
Mhm.
don't know if everyone knows, but Beach and Yacht Club actually join. So
Yeah.
you can literally not even have to walk outside and you're in the next resort. And then Boardwalk is right across from that. But I wanted to talk about Riviera for a second, because that is my new love. And it is amazing. It is
Ah,
gorgeous
yeah.
and beautiful. It is like you are in the French Riviera. The theming there is, I equate it to my more like the Grand Floridian, but modern French version with lots of beautiful art around. And then you've got these stunning murals when you're walking to the Skyliner, which will get you quickly to Epcot or
Mhm.
Hollywood Studios, which is another really great perk of staying at Riviera or the other Epcot resorts.
I had the most
Absolutely.
delicious cappuccino at the Riviera. Those
Yes, that little
cafes are,
cafe. It's
you
so
feel like
cute.
you're in Paris. It's lovely.
Yes,
It
and there's
really
so
is.
many cute little places to sit there too.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have now I've toured Riviera, but we actually just booked our first stay for Riviera for May, and I am so excited. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
wait to stay there. I'm really excited about it. And I totally agree. Like, one of the reasons why the Epcot area is my favorite area to stay in is because you can walk to Epcot. You can walk to Hollywood Studios. You can take the boats. You can take the Skyliner if you want to. Like, you have multiple different ways
Mhm.
to get to two parks. And if you're a Star Wars fan in particular, being that close to Hollywood Studios is a really great perk, because, it's going to get you over there faster. Hopefully you're going to get to beat some of the crowds that are driving in and parking parking and having to take the tram in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can get there and you're already in line for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run before
Yep.
other people are through the front gates. So
Mhm.
it's
For
one of the
sure.
great
I want
perks.
to add one thing. When we were there last, it was, kind of around lunchtime, and the quick service meals were kind of, backed up on the mobile order. And we're like, we're just going to hop on the Skyliner. We'll head over to Riviera, grab some lunch, and head back. And we did. And we didn't feel like we lost any time out of our day doing that.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Skyliner is so fast. Like, that's one of the things that impresses me most about that mode of transportation, and I guess it's just because it's constantly moving, like, you're not
Right.
having to stop and load, it's always going. It's just such a much more efficient way to get around, and I love it.
And it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a ride in itself. You
Mhm.
get such a beautiful view of all of the resorts as you're going by. I love taking that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to the deluxe resorts in the Magic Kingdom area, which include obviously Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, the Polynesian Village Resort, and Wilderness Lodge. So, how would you describe the theming of these properties, and what do you think are the greatest advantages to staying in this area?
They're all so different,
Yeah,
but
they really are.
Really?
they're all so convenient to the Magic Kingdom. And now, Poly, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary are all
Mhm.
walkable.
Yes.
Of course, distances vary, but all walkable to the Magic Kingdom.
Mhm.
Wilderness Lodge sounds exactly how it is. It's just like a giant, beautiful lodge. You
Oh,
just
that
feel like
lobby.
you are in a world away. And same as Polynesian. Polynesian feels like you are a world away as well. So when you're at either one of those resorts, I really feel like you're a stay within a stay.
Mhm.
And then Grand Floridian's just opulent and gorgeous, and their flagship resort, and it's stunning, and it smells really good in there too, and great food. That's where Ginger likes to eat.
Yes.
And then, the Contemporary is one of the originals, like Polly. So there's just something about being there and having the monorail come through your hotel. Great places to eat there too, as well. Not just, the signature dining, but their quick service is
Yeah.
really good too.
I love the Contempo Cafe. That's one of my favorite quick
They have
Yep.
service
great
locations.
desserts there.
Yep.
Yes.
And a
They
good
have
steak. You can get a fabulous steak at Good Tempo Cafe.
Mhm.
yes. They have this peanut butter tart that is just it's
Oh,
just
it's
so
so good.
good.
It's like fudge. It's like peanut
Yeah.
butter fudge in the
Yeah.
tartlet.
Yes, it's amazing. And I have to agree with everything you guys said. Wilderness Lodge, I remember vividly the first time I ever walked into the lobby of Wilderness Lodge, I just went, "Oh, wow." Like, it is just so beautiful in there. And when you are walking around the grounds, you really feel like you are nowhere near a theme park. Like, it feels
Mhm.
like you are just out in nature, and it's so tranquil and relaxing.
And there's a real fake geyser, a real geyser
That's
that
right.
goes off.
That's right.
Have a great point, Ginger. I feel like at each of those resorts around the Magic Kingdom, you don't feel like you're so close to a theme park. I mean, the Polynesian, I mean, it reminds me of my honeymoon in Hawaii every time we go there. Between people wishing you, aloha and calling you ohana, the smells, the food. I mean, just walking around, you really feel like you're in, French Polynesia.
Yeah.
And I think the same at the Grand Floridian. You just get that throwback and the music and the lobby, the light. I mean, it's fantastic. There's a reason why these resorts are right around the Magic Kingdom and why they're so popular.
Absolutely. I definitely think that if your children are really all ages, but particularly if your children are young enough that they want to be spending the majority of their time at Magic Kingdom, again, the convenience factor. We can't overstate the importance of that, because just being able to walk or hop on the monorail or a boat or anything and get back for those naps, those, pool days, whatever you want to do, dinner at
Mhm.
your resort, it's just so nice to be that conveniently located.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
And I think Amy mentioned this before about Stormalong Bay at Yacht and Beach Club, but
Mhm.
the deluxe resorts, in my opinion, are the best place to have your resort day, because you're going to feel like you are a place within a place. Like
Absolutely.
you really are able to enjoy the amenities that you have there and
Mhm.
take them all in.
Yep,
Yes.
I agree.
And obviously, it's not open right now, but Grand Floridian does have its own Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique
Mhm.
right there on site. So, if you have a princess lover, that is such a wonderful resort because, during normal operations, they have that Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. They have a princess character meal there. They
The
have a
tea.
princess
Yep.
tea.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just so many different things. Sometimes Cinderella is just there in the lobby dancing with her prince at certain
Mhm.
times, so it's just such a magical place if you have a little princess who,
And the
wants
Enchanted Rose, the new
Yeah,
lounge and restaurant that opened.
that's
I
true.
mean, it's fantastic.
It's so beautiful in there. Yeah. So let's move on and talk about Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, this is the only one that we're actually going to kind of talk about this property by itself instead of lumping it in with others because there's something that you'll find at this resort that you aren't going to find at any of the other deluxes. So what makes Animal Kingdom Lodge so special and unique?
The animals in the safari view.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you can see them from everywhere.
Mhm.
I remember the first time I ever checked in there. I was taking my bags, about to walk to my room, and I just looked to my left. There was a window and a giraffe. It was just like, wow, you don't see this every day. Walking to your hotel room in the middle of a whole right, you just don't. So it's awesome. Even if you don't have that Savannah view, you still get
You
a
can.
view of the animals from just about everywhere in the hotel.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it feels to me very similar to Wilderness Lodge,
I
the lobby
Mhm.
wise, because it's going to be grand and
Tall and
open.
high.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. And also there is some great food. If we're talking about food, some great food at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I mean, their restaurants, they've got Boma, they have Sanaa. Both of those are awesome choices. Their quick service, the Mara, is
Mhm.
really, really good, has some excellent desserts.
Mhm.
So like if you want some food that's not just like standard run of the mill, if you're a little bit more adventurous in your in your dining taste, definitely check out some of the restaurants at Animal Kingdom Lodge because they are fantastic. Really, really good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean the bread service at
Yeah.
Sanaa, I think, is worth staying there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk now about Saratoga Springs and Old Key West, which are both located in the Disney Springs area. Now, both of these offer exclusively villa style accommodations. So they are going to have minimum a kitchenette. Some of them have a full kitchen, have laundry in the unit. So other than that, obviously, the rooms being a little bit different, you have all villa options as opposed to just some villa options at the other deluxe resorts. What do you think is the best advantage to staying at one of these two properties?
I feel like the rooms at Old Key West are a little bit bigger than the normal rooms, even at Saratoga Springs, the 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. I like the convenience of Disney Springs. They have the boat that runs to Disney Springs from those resorts, in addition to your buses. It's just a really great for big families.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they feel a little more laid back to me. Um, I don't know if that's the style of them or whatnot, but it does feel a little more relaxed there, in my opinion.
There's more
And
home, yeah.
right. And right now, I think they are one of the greatest places to stay, convenience wise, while the parks are closing a little bit earlier,
Mhm.
because you're going to head back to your resort and you're going to be just a few minutes away from Disney Springs, which is where all the action is happening. Live performances, great food. Some of my favorite restaurants on property are there.
Yep.
You can bowl, watch a movie, shop. All those great things. So you still have a lot to do once you're done with your park day.
Right.
Mhm.
You can
And I
actually
think having the kitchenette is nice too, especially if you're traveling with children, especially like an infant for heating up bottles, like whatever you might need.
Mhm.
You've got just a little bit more space, and room to do your breakfast or whatever you might
Mhm.
want to do in the room.
Absolutely.
And the Saratoga Springs preferred rooms are renovated and
Mhm.
they are
Beautiful.
fabulous. They look and feel a lot like the Riviera to me.
Mm.
The style wise, they look very clean and pristine, and they feel a little more spacious than a typical deluxe studio in a different resort. There's just a little bit more room.
Mhm.
In Saratoga Springs, you could actually walk over to Disney Springs as well, in addition to taking the bus or boat over. So there's plenty of options to get over there to check out all the action.
Definitely. And Saratoga Springs also has those beautiful treehouse villas, which is like, it's one of those round kind of cabin style houses. They're really, really spacious. And they're just a neat, I mean, you're kind of staying along the trees. And so that's a really neat experience to have as well. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys have noticed this as you've been, pricing out vacations for clients, but I have noticed some really good deals at these two properties particular. Like they are just pricing out right now kind of towards the lower end of those deluxe properties. So if you're wanting to try out the deluxe level, you have a great opportunity to do that right now and to get it at a pretty great bargain, at least based on what I've seen lately.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Yeah. So let's do a fun question. So of all of these different deluxe properties that we have talked about, which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, who's going first?
All right, I'll go. Mine is the Polynesian, hands down. Every single time I stay there. And granted, it's going through some renovations now. So walking through the front entrance may be different next time. I only expect it to be better than it has been. But with those fountains and you walk through and they put a lei on you. Like I said, it takes you back for me to my honeymoon in Hawaii and just the smells, the cute little gift shop. I mean, people just, everyone who works there, like every Disney hotel, is just so friendly and they say, aloha. And I mean, I feel at that resort, you really have a theme going and it's immersive.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. This one is really hard for me.
It is a
because
hard question.
I love the Poly, but I think at the top of my list is between Grand Floridian and Riviera. And I think Riviera edges it out because I just love it so much. I think it's all the artwork there that really draws me in because every hallway has some beautiful painting on it of classic characters. And the carpet on the floor, there's hidden figures that don't even look like they're there, but they're all like the Fab Five hiding in your carpet, things like that. And those murals on the way to the Skyliner, they just are beautiful. The food, the Skyliner, there's a great, I've been there several times when the sun is setting. And it is gorgeous when the sun sets over the water right there with the Skyliner in the background. Just love all the feels of it.
Well, I have a tie between two. We really like Beach Club just for the proximity to Epcot. Epcot's our favorite park. We spend a lot of time there. The walking distance to it, the closeness to Hollywood Studios as well. The pool, obviously. But a close second is Wilderness Lodge too. I just love the outdoorsy wilderness lodge type decor, I guess. When I was younger, we always camped at Fort Wilderness. So that's the closest thing my family's ever going to get to camping because they will never camp. So. But it reminds me a lot of that too.
This is a hard question. And I kind of want to cop out and be like, they're all my favorite.
Can't do it, Ginger. We won't let you.
Honestly, though, I have said that Epcot area is my favorite area to be in. And so I honestly think, because Epcot is my favorite park too, I think I would have to go with the Beach Club, because the Beach Club is the closest park that you can, or closest resort you can possibly be in for Epcot. And so I think that's probably, plus it just smells amazing in there. And smells are important to me. I like
and beaches and cream. We have beaches and cream right there.
Yeah. My husband and I just booked a stay for June at the boardwalk, and I was like, where should we eat? And I was like, beaches and cream, of course. What was I even thinking? Of course we're going to eat beaches and cream over there. But they all have something unique and special about them. And there's no saying that Riviera, when we stay there, won't become my new favorite either, because I'm with Mary Alice. I think the beauty of that resort, it is just so gorgeous there. Yeah. So I'm excited to try it out. So my last question for you all before we move on to our questions that we have in the comments is not so much about resorts, but us as travel professionals. Why should someone who can go on Disney's website, book their own vacation, what's in it for them to book it through a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent?
I think the value with booking through an agent is we monitor all the promotions that are released continuously up until you go, and we'll apply anything that can save you a little bit more money. Also, just the staying up on all the crazy changes with, the pandemic and COVID, and it's constantly changing. So we're constantly up to date on all those new rules that would help. It helps you with your vacation.
Absolutely.
Right. I would add that we're all experienced, like we're all giant Disney lovers. We've been through the Disney's College of Knowledge. We're Disney experts, probably huge Disney buffs, and would care to continue to talk another hour tonight just for fun about Disney if we wanted to. And you're getting our services at no additional cost to you, which I think sometimes confuses people. But yes, really, there's no additional cost to using us. There's no strings attached. You're just helping a small business, and our commission is actually built into what you're paying anyway. So when you don't use one of us, you're paying for a service that you don't receive.
Agreed. And I just think, like you just said, Mary Alice, when it comes to experience, like I said, I've been planning Disney trips for over 30 years, and I absolutely love to nerd out and talk about Disney all day long. But there are just so many different details. And I think having somebody working with you puts you at an advantage, as opposed to somebody who would just walk through the gates not knowing all the things that we know to help you put together, a perfect trip. And whether you are a first timer or, you've been going for 20 plus years, we can get as detailed as you like with our planning. We can help you put itineraries together day by day, hour by hour, or we can just get up at the crack of dawn and book your dining and, eventually, hopefully fast pass and, just give you kind of our tips and tricks and our favorites. I mean, just getting some restaurant recommendations. I mean, there's a million things that we can do, and we love to do it. So that's why it's worth it.
Yeah. And I would also add too, the benefit of booking through a Marvelous Mouse agent in particular is that you are benefiting from the combined knowledge of over 250 agents. So, let's say you want to do a private VIP tour. Well, maybe I've never done a VIP tour, but Mary Alice has. I can go to Mary Alice as the agent and say, Mary Alice, tell me everything, that I need to let my client know about this VIP tour, and so we help each other out. We are a family. We are an Ohana. And so we are constantly sharing our knowledge with each other, learning from each other, growing together, and then working together as a whole to provide our clients with the best experience that they can possibly have. And that's one of the things I love most about being part of this agency is the family atmosphere that we all enjoy and the way that we do root for each other rather than compete against each other. And we help each other out. And our clients are the winners in that situation, I think, for sure. So let's move on to some questions. I think we do have a few questions over here in the comments. So let's see here. All right. Hey,
She's back.
welcome back. It happens, right? Hello,
Happy
Daniel.
Valentine's.
Does the Skyliner? Oh, not at all. It
No.
is so quick. Let's see. Let's try to give like a ballpark. Mary Alice from Riviera. How long do you think it takes to get to Epcot?
Like 5 minutes or less, probably.
Yeah, I did the trip back and forth this week from Epcot to Hollywood and back. And I want to say, with having to transfer, I want to say it didn't take more than 12 minutes to get from one park to the other. So major time saver.
Yes, for sure. And also too, if you have a stroller, you don't have to break that stroller down to get on.
Yes.
It's like, like that's my favorite part. So it is so easy. Yes,
It is awesome.
Is there a limit to charge on your Magic Band? Also, if you have 2 adults in your party, do you each have the same spending limit? So
No,
no
no
limit.
limit. That's the scary part.
What's your credit
It-
card
tell you
limit?
to
I
stop.
mean,
I mean, you can know your limit in your head, but it gets real easy to tap, tap, tap,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
things
so
can add up
easy.
real fast.
Yes. So the way that works is actually what you're doing with your Magic Band is you're charging to your room portfolio. So like you have a credit card on file, and I believe, ladies, they put $100 hold on that to start, right? If you set up
Mhm.
online check-in, or if you check in person and you want to set up those charge and privileges, I think there's $100 hold, but you definitely can go over $100. So,
Yeah.
no limit.
Well over.
Well over. Yeah.
Because you can do your meals like that too, if you're
Mhm.
right.
Purchased this at the gift shop. I was just
Mhm.
going like this
Tap,
all
tap,
week.
tap.
Or if there's a festival at Epcot, you're going
Oh,
around
that's
all
even
those little
better.
booths.
I'm like, nah, just
Yeah.
bought 3 stacks that cost me a lot more than they probably should, but they'll be really tasty.
Oh, that's a good question.
So the community hall is just like a large gathering room, not super large. I'm trying to compare it to my dining room. It's probably a little bit bigger than my dining room, depending on the resort. And they will have, different activities set up in there. There's I think a Wii is in there, like the kids can play some video games like Disney Infinity, things like that. But there's also painting that the kids can sign up for, making a t-shirt, pottery, things like that.
Mhm.
And I think pre-COVID, they probably had more organized things
Mhm.
that were taking place. But some of those things are complimentary, and some of them do come at an extra fee.
Mhm. Us too.
Me too. Too much.
hmm
Oh,
Oh,
Great
I
I love
French
haven't
a good
press.
tried
French
that.
press.
I'm gonna have to add that to my list for my next trip.
Yeah.
Love a good
I
French press.
Yeah, I have not tried it at Sanaa, but I love a good French press too. So
Mhm.
add it to the list. We're totally in love and set on the Polynesian, but what would be a great second option if that isn't available for us? Proximity and pool are huge.
Then
Oh,
I would say like beach club or yacht club,
I
Definitely.
agree.
because that
Definitely.
pool.
Now, if you're talking about proximity to Magic Kingdom specifically, then I would probably say go with the Grand Floridian. After
Yeah,
Yes.
their
all.
pool's very
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they
And
have
they
a
have the
great,
cool little
yeah,
splash,
the splash pad
Yeah,
is so
nice
awesome
area
there.
for the kids.
Mhm.
the little hat, the Mad Hatter's hat
Mhm.
dumps
Yep.
water on
Alice
you.
theme.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's beautiful. Oh, they do have a great
They
pool.
do have a
That
good
little
pool too.
splash. Yep. Oh, all of them.
Uh,
I'm gonna say Magic Kingdom because I
yeah,
think it's just the quintessential
Yeah.
Disney experience. I really do.
absolutely.
That's not necessarily my favorite park. I love it, but
Yeah.
I think for first timers,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where you go. That's where
I
you
right.
agree.
That's where the classics are.
go. Mhm.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
I agree.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Those are some great questions. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight for Sundays with MMT. We had a lot of fun, as you can tell, chatting with you about deluxe resorts. We could probably, like Mary Al said, we could hang around for another hour and talk about this stuff if we
Easily.
wanted to. But if you would like to get information about planning your own Disney vacation from any of us, feel free to reach out to us. And if you missed the beginning of the video, our contact information was all shared at the beginning of the video. But booking through us is the exact same price as it is to book that vacation yourself on Disney's website. But when you book it through us, not only are you helping a small business, but you're also benefiting from personalized concierge level planning services. So someone to really help you with every aspect of your vacation. Oh, we missed a question real quickly. Any clue when you'll be able to book room only to guarantee a reservation? Oh, for 2022. Okay, so typically you can book room only 499 days out. Right now, they're only booking through the end of 2021. So I guess the short answer to that is we don't know when they're going to open up. They're definitely going to open it up probably no later than like summer of 2021, because that's usually when they release 2022 packages,
Right.
or the next year's packages anyway. But in terms of will they open room only up sooner than that, we don't know. We'll have to wait.
Yeah, and I would say reach out to your Marvelous Mouse agent, because I know I have a list of people that are ready to book for that. And as soon as it opens up, I've got a lot of phone calls to make. So
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. So next week, we are going to be actually live in our Universal Orlando group. We are going to be talking about a brand new book that our agency just published this week. It is a marvelous guide to Universal Orlando. So we will be interviewing the authors of that book, talking about, what types of tips and tricks you can find in that book. And then obviously how that book goes along with booking your vacation through a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent. So we hope to see you again next week at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.